Good evening. Coming up in Mello TV Evening News tonight, Prime Minister defends the use of states of emergency and urged public sector groups to settle compensation review package during his contribution to the budget debate. Body of a man found stuffed in a barrel in Kingston. And members of the Jamaican diaspora file a claim in the Supreme Court for the removal of the Commissioner of Police. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Andrew Holness stated that the states of public emergency SOEs are necessary and work every time they are deployed. Mr. Holness was making his contribution to the 2023-2024 budget debate earlier today in the House of Representatives.
Organized violence is a national emergency, which requires enhanced preventative powers to disrupt the activities of the gangs, control the space in which they operate, control their movement, increase surveillance on them, cut off their source of financing, and divert their recruits. Madam Speaker, it is in this context that we have used limited and localized states of public emergency to slow the buildup of gang terrorism and its devastating impact on communities and the undermining effect it has on the state. The SOEs work every time they are deployed, every time.
Prime Minister Holness praised the verdict in the recent anti-gang trial as a victory for Jamaica.
The verdict in the recent anti-gang trial is a victory for Jamaica. I want to commend the JCF and their investigators and the DPP and their prosecutors who have put together the case, and I believe special mention must be made of the two main witnesses who made great personal sacrifice. The NIB indicated in 2020 that there were approximately 389 gangs operating in Jamaica, with 250 being active gangs. When we multiply what we know about the gangs' operation from the trials across the 250 active gangs, we begin to get an understanding as to why, on average, 75% of murders are gang-related in Jamaica, why conflicts escalate so quickly, why they last so long, and why so many deaths occur as a result. Every day, several gangs are at work plotting which bar they will rob, which delivery truck they will hijack, which business they will extort, which rival they will attack, and sadly, who they will kill for fun.
The Prime Minister also encouraged public sector groups to come quickly to a settlement of the compensation review package.
Everyone involved in the process knows that this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to properly establish a logical, transparent, functional, efficient, and equitable compensation system for the public sector. When this is complete, we would have set the stage, planted the seed for a more efficient public service. However, there are dangers to all parties if the process results in instability and agreements are not concluded in a reasonable time. The government, understanding the moment, will continue to be reasonable, encourage understanding, encourage agreement, but we will continue to be patient. I therefore encourage all groups to come to settlement as quickly as possible, and I thank those who have settled already.
In a Mello TV News update this evening, charges have been laid in the shooting death of a 2-year-old Adrian Campbell on Monday, March 13. 20-year-old Anthony Findlay, otherwise called Boy Blue of McHill District, Clarkstown in Trelawney, has been charged. Findlay was charged with murder, shooting with intent, and using a firearm to commit a felony, unauthorized possession of firearms and ammunition. Reports from the Falmouth police are that about 8:12 p.m., Adrian was sitting in a car with his stepfather when they were pounced upon by Finley, who fired shots at the vehicle. Adrian received multiple gunshot wounds and was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Finley was arrested by lawmen on patrol when he attempted to flee the parish. He was charged early today after a question and answer session in the presence of his attorney. The Denham Town Police are asking members of the public for assistance to identify a man whose body was discovered stuffed inside a barrel on Beeston Street, Kingston 14, earlier this morning. The unidentified male is of dark complexion, medium build, about 6 feet 2 inches tall, and has a star tattooed on the left arm. He was clad in a black t-shirt, short blue jeans pants, and a pair of black sneakers. Reports by the Denham Town Police are that about 2 a.m. residents alerted them after they stumbled upon the body inside the barrel. On the arrival of the lawmen, the unidentified male was stuffed headfirst inside the blue plastic barrel. The scene was processed and the body removed to the morgue for post-mortem examination. The Denham Town Police are asking members of the public who can assist in their investigation to contact the Denham Town Criminal Investigations Branch at 876-948-6443. A 14-year-old boy was arrested and charged with rape following an incident in Seaford, St. Thomas on Sunday, March 5. Reports are that about a 10-year-old girl was at the home of the teen when he held her down and sexually assaulted her. The girl managed to escape, ran home, and made a report of the incident. The teen was subsequently arrested and charged following an interview. A stabbing incident in the community of Highgate in St. Mary this morning has left one man dead and another in police custody. A Highgate laborer named Gary Graham has been identified as the deceased. According to the Highgate Police, Graham and a man got into a physical altercation on Wednesday, but the police were able to defuse that situation. Investigators claim that shortly before 8 a.m., another physical altercation between the two occurred in the town, in which the suspect allegedly grabbed a knife and stabbed Graham. Graham reportedly fell to the ground, face down and unresponsive. A doctor declared him dead at the scene of the crime. According to the police, the accused is currently being held and will likely face charges shortly. Several irate drivers who travel the Montego Bay through Hanover to Westmoreland route are urging the National Works Agency, the NWA, to promptly repair a piece of the road that has been neglected and in a deplorable condition since early last year. The aggrieved drivers claim that the Hanover, New Hampshire roadway segment that runs through Shuttlewood has been a significant factor in the numerous accidents in the community, as well as significant damage to their vehicles. According to information obtained by Mello News, workers hired by the NWA recently dug up the road and laid it with marl, but to date they have not returned to the area. The disgruntled drivers added that they are worried that the gravel will soon be washed away and the road will be even worse condition as the dry season is now coming to an end and the rainy season is about to begin. The National Works Agency's Western Office's Community Relations Manager, Janelle Ricketts, responded to a request for comments by saying that the road segment is within their patching program, which is now in progress. Ms. Ricketts also gave the assurance that the sections of the road will be fixed and asphalted by the following weekend. The Jamaica Defense Force, the JDF, has concluded an investigation into allegations of sexual harassment by a senior officer. In a press release, the investigation was prompted by an official report made by a female service member in February 2023 regarding inappropriate conduct by the senior officer. An immediate investigation was launched, and that has since revealed that the senior officer conducted himself in a manner contrary to the Defense Act. Disciplinary proceedings were initiated against a senior officer who has subsequently tendered his resignation. The investigation also recommended disciplinary action for other service members who had knowledge of the allegation but failed to provide a report, which is required according to force policies. The Chief of Defense Staff accepted the resignation of the senior officer on Monday, March 13, 2023. The JDF reiterates its zero tolerance for actions that are in breach of the Defense Act and force policies and continues to implore service members and civilians who are aware of any breach to use the approved processes to report them. The Consumer Affairs Commission, the CAC, is urging customers to ensure that contracts for products and services being obtained, especially with financial institutions, are fully understood before entering into any agreement. The CAC's Chief Executive Officer, Dulcie Allen, pointed out that the chief among the pertinent details consumers need to inquire about is a rate of interest they will be charged, which is the amount a lender charges a borrower and is a percentage of the principal. Mrs. Allen expressed that other questions should be asked, including other fees, how long is the loan period, what is the monthly payment, what happens in the event for some reason that the payment cannot be made in a particular month, what to do, and what are some of the penalties. Mrs. Allen further encourages consumers who have encountered financial challenges not to hide away from their creditors. And those are the stories making the news this evening. Thank you for tuning in to Mello TV Evening News. I'm Nicole Hales. Stay safe and thanks for watching.